Would she ever be diabolical enough to drop a TS12 track?
Oh,
No.
I actually don't know.
Welcome to It's Different.
Lee-hee-hee.
Hoo, 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 hoo.
I'm Ryan, and that's Molly.
We are so excited for today's episode because we are talking all about Taylor's music in the very popular book to TV series, The Summer I Turned Pretty, with our Swiftie bestie, Ammir.
And Ammir and I have some pretty unhinged predictions about what's going to happen in season 3.
And we have some fun news to share with you about an upcoming collab with Ammir.
Also, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us wherever you're listening to this podcast.
Shout out to everyone who has joined our Patreon recently. We saw a lot of you join after we posted the recap video of Taylor and Travis at Tight End University, the Shake It Off surprise performance. All of our recap content is available on our Patreon along with some bloopers. So if you're interested, click the link in the description of this episode. Before we bring on Ammir, we wanted to follow up on a couple of things from our last episode, which is that one, we've heard you loud and clear you want the playlist. Okay, in case you missed the last episode, Ryan and I were talking about the fact that I've made several playlists for myself recently of Taylor music. We've got Tay Summer, we've got Sultry Tay, and I'm going to be making a running playlist. And the requests for the platforms are Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube. So I have my work cut out for me, and I am working on it. It's not ready yet, but if y'all want it, it'll be there. Okay.
When the time is right.
When the time is right. Hopefully by next week.
Sorry, Molly, I totally exposed you. I was like, drop the playlist. Everyone's like, yeah, drop the playlist. I'm like, I'm so sorry. But, you know, Molly's going to crush it. She's made me playlists before, so it'll be worth the wait.
Stand by for the links. Hopefully they'll be ready by next week. Maybe a little bit longer, but I got you guys. Hopefully by the time summer's over, you have the Tay Summer playlist.
Before the summer's over.
The other thing that everyone wants to see, Ryan, is your Shake It Off karaoke performance.
Which you can now find on our Instagram at It Hit Stiff Pod. So go check it out. It's the bridge of Shake It Off. And yeah, it was potentially happening at the same moment that Taylor was singing Shake It Off across the country. I did the time difference and it was about 11 p.m. my time, which would have been 1 a.m. her time. So it's possible. That's just a fun fact.
Yeah, in case anyone missed last week's episode, Ryan literally sang Shake It Off for karaoke the same night that Taylor did her Shake It Off surprise performance. And Ryan had no idea about this at the time that she chose to perform Shake It Off.
No idea. And we were both wearing black. So the Tay voodoo was strong with us. And yes, and now it is for your viewing pleasure. So go check that out on our Instagram.
And now it's time to bring on Ammir. Welcome, Ammir, back on Hits Differently with us to preview The Summer I Turned Pretty today.
Oh, I'm so glad to be back. I waited for this time for months and months. So thank you for having me back.
It's been a minute.
So for anyone who maybe hasn't heard of your channel yet, Ammir, do you want to describe what kind of content you're putting out these days? Post-Eras tour?
If you like watching concerts and want somewhere to always find the concerts you want to watch, that's where I am. I'll find the lives for you and you can sit back and relax and just know that every show I'll find something, hopefully. And other than that, I do other stuff as well. Anything music, artist related, I try and dabble in. So you'll probably see some of the cool stuff. And yeah, right now I've started song and album reactions. So that's the current new thing I'm doing. But yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I saw the Benson Boone one on your channel right before we were starting to record this. It's exciting to get some album reactions from you.
The next one's going to be the F1 one because I've not heard the album yet, but it's got a lot of good songs on it from what I've heard.
The Ed Sheeran,
right? The only one I've heard is Tate McRae's song, which is Just Keep Watching, which I really like.
Okay. Yeah, I heard a snippet of Ed's. That's going to be good. It's going to be good.
So if you are not already subscribed to Ammir's channel, it's at Ammir Shah 1811 on YouTube. We'll have a link to all of his socials and his YouTube channel in the description of this episode. And if you're coming to us from Ammir's community, welcome back. We've done a few hangs before.
I'm telling everyone here, don't worry.
Back after the AMAs, I think you hopped on one of our live streams and we were all commiserating together and people were wondering when we were going to collab again. And we figured what better time than for the Summer I Turned Pretty because all three of us love this show and we want to talk about it. So in this episode, we're going to preview a lot of things for season 3. And then the big announcement is that, drumroll, we're going to be doing live streams after a couple of these episodes drop. So the very first live stream will be next Thursday. The episodes come out Wednesday, July 16th, and our first live stream together will be on Thursday, July 17th. The first 2 episodes will have dropped, and we will have a lot to talk about. We are calling it So Much for Summer Love.
What a name. What a name.
You were mine to lose.
And if you're wondering why we might be using a lyric from August, it's because there's a love triangle in this show, which we'll get to also. But more on the live stream is that it's going to be on Ammir's channel on Thursday night, July 17th. And then the following day on Friday, we will end up posting it to our channel as well. So you can catch it there, but come join us for the live stream so you can chat with us live.
It should be so fun. It'll be nice to chat with everyone.
All right. So in case you are unaware of the crossovers between Taylor and The Summer I Turned Pretty and why all three of us are pumped to talk about this. The Summer I Turned Pretty is a book series that was written by Jenny Han, and then it was turned into a TV series on Amazon Prime. And from the very first season, they started using a bunch of Taylor's music. There have been Taylor's versions of songs that were premiered in the trailers, like This Love or Back to December. We heard them for the very first time in these trailers. And then other songs like Delicate, Taylor's version, that have been premiered in the show. So it got a ton of Swiftie attention because of this crossover. And now we are all emotionally invested. And there's this big love triangle that goes on between seasons 1 and 2 and going into season 3. That's the big topic.
And who doesn't love a good love triangle? As a twihard, for those who don't know what that means, Twilight stands. I love a good love triangle. As does Taylor. I mean, Betty. Hello, Betty,
Yeah.
August, and Cardigan.
I'm team.
Let's go.
Actually, I don't know. I feel like I might be team August, you know?
Team August of the love triangle.
Yeah, she had a heart broken.
So for anyone who doesn't know the backstory of these characters, the 30-second version is that there's this girl named Belly who goes to the beach every summer with her mom and her brother, and they stay with her mom's best friend, and they're 2 boys. So the boys are Conrad and Jeremiah, and Conrad is the older brother, and Belly's had a crush on him forever, and then Jeremiah is closer to her age. And seasons 1 and 2 are just a lot of back and forth of Belly thinking, does Conrad finally reciprocate my feelings? I've had a crush on him for so long. And Jeremiah being like, I've loved you my whole life. That's me projecting my feelings about the love triangle onto this description. Would you like to pipe in, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm like, who does Molly like? Also, I was going to interject and say they're both hot, by the way, because of course it is interesting, the parallels of like Belly's over, it's very classic. Belly's over here being like unrequited love with Conrad, see me, and then Jeremiah is saying the same thing about her. It's like very on brand, which I feel like maybe not every normal human is stuck in a love triangle like this, but I feel like that does happen more than you would think, that you might have a close friend of the opposite sex who feels that way about you while you're over here being like talking about another guy. Like maybe it's not a triangle, but it's like kind of, you know what I mean? You know, at least in my life. So, you know, I live a more toxic life than Molly. So yeah, I'm team Conrad, but we're not going to jump ahead.
There's only one right answer. Our boy Jerry.
Jerry. Please, let's call him Jerry. That really changes the dynamic.
The big question going into season 3 is, are you team Conrad or are you team Jeremiah? And the last thing that I'll preface of the backstory that is very important before we dive into this, Conrad and Jeremiah's mom, her name's Susanna. She's sick in season 1. And then when season 2 starts, she has passed away from cancer. And so Belly and Conrad did start dating at one point. That was while Susanna was sick, and it was before she died. And then they broke up before the funeral, and there's all this drama there. And so now we're post funeral going into season 3. The kids are all trying to figure out what the next step in their life is. And Jeremiah and Belly have decided that they're going to be a relationship now. She's like, I'm over Conrad. I want something real.
Oh, the second time.
Jeremiah.
Because he ghosted, literally, like a physical ghost. Like he disappeared. And they're like, where where's Conrad? Is he okay? And was just being problematic. And, so she was just left with Jeremiah and was like, he's cute, I guess. We'll do this. Why not?
That is
she
not
settled
what
for
happened.
him because Conrad
She
was
was already
gone.
with Jeremiah, though.
Yeah,
for a
Ammir's
brief
rewatching
minute.
season 2 with me right now. They find Conrad and they all hang out together, and then she starts to choose Jeremiah. Back me up, Amir.
So
Yeah,
it starts
but I
with Cam
mean-
Cameron, then it's Conrad, then it's Jeremiah, then it's Conrad, then it's Jeremiah, and that's where we're at.
I'm just saying that she, even when he did return, like, I still feel like it's unfortunate she picked Jeremiah only because Conrad was on one, It sucks.
But he's
because-
always on one. Is she gonna live
I
with that for the rest of
know.
her life?
But that's why I almost feel bad for Jeremiah. I'm like, boy, she's only doing this because you're the safe, available choice. Conrad's out here playing games, I like
swear, if she
Jeremiah.
doesn't
There's
end
no
up with Jeremiah,
hate.
I'm gonna be
I
so
like
upset.
him. I
Amir,
would
do you
love
see
to have
what
a
I deal
Jeremiah in my
with?
life.
Okay.
I would love a Jeremiah in my life. Okay, we're jumping ahead, but there's no shade.
No,
I'm
we're
just,
in
I'm
it.
speaking
We're
for
in it
Belly.
now.
I'm speaking for Belly. This is what she did. I'm not Belly. I didn't live this life. I would probably end up doing the same thing though. Let's be honest.
All I'm saying is, I love Taylor and she's Team Jerry. So Taylor is in
Is
the
she?
character, not the person.
I thought you meant Taylor Swift too. I was like, has she spoken?
Oh wait, I thought you meant
Jeremiah?
Taylor Swift too. Wait, who? Which
Taylor,
Taylor?
the character,
Her
Taylor.
best friend.
Oh.
Belly's best friend, Taylor.
Yes.
I was like, of course Taylor would be Team Jeremiah. She would though.
No, Taylor
Well-
Swift would be Team Conrad.
I think habitually she would be Conrad, but she would want to be Team Jeremiah. I don't
Taylor
know.
literally wrote Foolish One in my mind. It could be about Belly loving Conrad. Like that whole song. It's like,
It's about me.
Foolish One, stop checking your mailbox for confessions.
So
of
she'd be
love,
Team Jeremiah
babe.
then, because she's
Never
basically saying
gonna
stop chasing
come.
the bad option.
Yeah. She wants to be Team Jeremiah, but she's like me. Someday hopefully I'll have my own Travis. It's like I want to be Team Jeremiah, but I can't help being Team Conrad, The sad boy trope. He's problematic. He keeps things spicy. You just never know. He's so inconsistent. It's like the anxiety is just always up. And it's like you don't want this, but you keep going back to it,
I just
So if
couldn't
I
ever
was
get
truly
it.
on a new leg, I'd be Team Jeremiah in this stage of my life because I am trying to trend towards that. We're trying to not repeat old habits, but
But old habits die screaming.
I feel like I'd be bored of Jeremiah after a while. That's my biggest concern. I feel like after a while, I'd be like, "You're pretty, but like, what else?"
Okay,
That's it.
but pro for Team Jeremiah. Jeremiah gives validation. And Ryan, you are someone who
I know.
likes to have that in a partner. And Conrad
I
never
know.
gives that to Belly.
I know.
He's head over heels. He's there like, I love you.
Yeah, that gets boring after
Jeremiah's
a while.
like, you're the best thing at this party all the time.
Yes.
Just do a little less. Be a little more mysterious. If you just tweaked him just a little bit, I'd be all in. Give him a little
Amir,
edge.
as you've been rewatching the series, and this is one thing that I didn't preface yet in this episode. We've talked about it before, but for the record, I've read all the books, so I know what's supposed to happen. Amir and Ryan have watched seasons 1 and 2. Amir and I both currently rewatching just because we're extra like that. In my rewatch, I do understand Conrad a little bit better now, even though I knew the big picture going into it. I do see his character a little differently in the rewatch.
His mom died.
But he still could
Jeremiah's
use his
mom
words.
died.
Yeah. Like Conrad
And
could
he's
just simply
younger.
use his
Not everyone
words.
Jeremy's
cooks the
younger.
same, okay? They're like 10 years old. No, they're older than that, but they're young, okay? Like,
Conrad's
they're
in college.
children.
He knows how to use his words. He's
Innit?
a smart
And
dude.
Jerry's
He's
in high
at
school,
Princeton.
basically, when she died.
Yeah. Secondly, Jeremiah is kind of unavailable during season 2, right, Amir? Like Belly's kind of trying to figure out where
shutting
she
her
stands
off,
with
and
him,
he's
and
like,
he's
I
kind
don't
of like,
even
I
get
can't
back
do
into
this.
And his reasons are so valid because he just doesn't want to be heartbroken again. And I get it, King. Like, he's out here and he's like, you really played with my feelings just to like get at my brother. And like, that's horrible. Poor guy's going through it. And then he like locked himself up. And then she's like, no, but I really want you now. And he's like, at the end, he's like, okay, I'll give in.
he was so hot. Okay, he was his hottest when he played Hard to Get.
Because Jeremiah started to do what Ryan said, like not be as into her, all of a sudden she thought, oh no, I'm not getting this attention from him.
Yeah.
What changed? So if we're really going to be honest here, Belly's probably the real problem out of this whole love triangle.
Yeah, that's always, the girl is always the problem in these like love triangles. Are you kidding? Yeah, because Jeremiah got hot. All of a sudden, it was like, there was the edge. Oh yeah, like he's playing games now? What's up? So, he showed himself a little bit, but then now he's back to being like, it's like...
Well, like half an episode's worth. Like, they got back together in the last episode, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, and he even thought she was going to choose Conrad at the end of season 2, and she said, no, I want something real, and then they had a really, really nice-looking scene where they made out to Beyonce, and it was great.
It was a scene, to say the least.
It was good.
And then Conrad rocks up, and he's like, hey, yo.
Conrad's like, I have my exit scene to exile, so I'm gonna see y'all later. Like,
based on the trailers, season 3 looks crazy. I don't know how they're gonna deal with the whole her getting married to him right at the beginning. That blows my mind.
And why is she getting married so soon again? Did they talk about that?
No,
she looks young. It's not like you flash forward. I'm like, why are you getting married? That's so Jeremiah.
My theory is when you deal with very toxic guys for a long time, and then you finally get with someone who has everything together and really likes you, and you think you're finally in your safe space, you want to lock it down. That's what my theory is. I feel like I've seen that happen before, and like,
as a girl who can relate to everything you just said, I can't relate to that part. Like, lock needed, I'm like, you lost me at that part. I'm like, yep, no.
Okay, so for example, Ryan, not to bring up old wounds, but like when you and your long-term relationship recently went through it, and by recently I now mean almost a year ago.
Okay, I was gonna
Happy
say
anniversary
about the family aspect of it. That's very, I get where Ammir's coming from. It's like, not only is this just you can grow attached to your partner's family, but in Belly's case, it's like literally her family. Like she grew up as if they were all cousins and whatever. You know what I mean? Like they're family friends, but they grew up in like a very core family way with all of each other spending every summer together.
She needs to get married like immediately.
I think in her mind, it's like this has always been my fate, has been to like be a part of this family officially.
Maybe she becomes a vampire, because in Twilight, that's why they got married so soon, Plot twist.
Yeah, Ryan.
She wants to get married before she, before she becomes immortal. I don't know. The wedding was giving vibes that it almost like wasn't a wedding, or that...
I get what you mean. I was caught a little off guard in general.
It was like a dream-like scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a spoiler, Molly? I don't think there's an actual wedding. That's just weird.
For anyone who knows what happens in the 3rd book, do not spoil in our comments, and do not go tell Ammir and Ryan on their socials what happens. We want to keep this spoiler free.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really hard for me to keep my poker face. But
yeah, Molly, so she's like,
going into season 3, I think we've clearly established that Ryan is Team Conrad and Ammir is Team Jeremiah. I am also Team Jeremiah going into season 3. So with what you know now, who do you think that Belly will end up with at the end? Just forget about the whole wedding scene being teased in the trailer. Okay, let's just take that off the table. But in general, who do you think that Belly will end up with at the end versus who do you want her to end up with at the end? Ammir, you go first.
Ammir.
I want her to be with Jerry, hands down. I feel like nearly every show over the past 2 or 3 years has had an ending that's just been so like dissatisfactory, and I feel like it's gonna be Conrad, and I hate that thought, but I want it to be Jerry. And if it isn't Jerry, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep that night, or that morning. It comes out in the morning for me, so I'm gonna wake up in tears.
We drain your coffee, like, no! Smash it on the ground. Belly, no! How could you? Idiot.
It's a Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. for
Dude,
Ammir.
On Wednesday of full days as well.
Too early for that. So 2 things. One, I am changing my opinion now. So obviously I'm Team Conrad, but it's been a minute because I'm also the fool who thought the show was over last season. So what do I know? Period. When I saw that there's a season 3, because I have never read the books, I was like, wow, what a lovely ending. That tracks. Like, they could have ended it right? Like they could have ended the show. Bye, Conrad. Beautiful scene.
I would have been
her and
happy with
Jeremiah.
that thing with Jerry. I would have been happy with
Yeah,
that.
but the show's based off the books, Ryan. So they can't just
when you
end
never
the show.
read them, how would I know there's 3 books? I don't know that information if I've never read them. I mean, that tracks. Everything's 3, right? A trilogy. I don't know.
Yeah,
trilogy,
it's a trilogy.
but, comprehension sometimes is a little tricky. Anyway, I digress. So I thought it was over. I'm going to rewatch the finale of season 2, get a vibe check. And when we record next week, I might have a different opinion. We'll see, especially after the first 2 episodes. I'm Team Conrad right now, but that might change. Because again, I'm healthier now. I was Team Conrad last season, but now in my own life, I'm trying not to be. So for right now, I want to say I want her to pick Conrad, but I actually have thought the opposite, that she's going to pick Jeremiah. And I feel the same way. I'm like, she's going to pick, I want her to be problematic and I want her to pick Conrad, but she's going to pick Jeremiah. And because someone also was like worried that the book ending was going to differ from the show ending in terms of
There
who
has
she
been
chooses.
concern from
people are
those
worried
of us
about
who have
that.
read the book that literally they could change the entire plot.
So
So
that makes me think that she chooses Jeremiah, because why else would people be mad if it was the opposite? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
they're worried that she's going to pick Conrad.
I'd like to hope that if that is the case in the books, Jenny has come out and she's had a few years to process it and been like, you know what? I made a mistake. I finally met my Jeremiah and I'm settled now and I need to be with I need her to be with Jeremiah as well. I don't know what her love life is like, but maybe
Maybe she does pick Conrad. It is giving, I hate to keep bringing up Twilight, but Jacob is the better option in that movie.
Wait,
and
I've
she
not watched the
picks
movies
Edward.
and I do think she should end up with Jacob.
Right.
Did she not?
No,
Oh.
not even close.
Great.
And he's so sorry. I didn't mean to spoil it. Oh no,
Great.
should I not have spoiled it?
Let's calm. I will watch it.
20
but-
years later, I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to spoil the ending.
I did just start off with, I've not watched it. But it's calm.
In the description, we're gonna have to be like, warning, there's Twilight spoilers in this episode. Okay, if y'all haven't gone there, I'm so sorry. But yes, Jeremiah is Jacob, okay? And sadly, guess what? She picks the problematic one, Edward, who's creeping, watching her while she sleeps, unfortunately. So yeah, I think she's gonna pick Conrad. I changed my mind.
If I was to write it, I feel like I would have gone down the route of, she gets married to Jerry. Something happens and she goes to his brother and stuff happens.
She
About
cheats on him?
episode 3 to episode 7 to episode 6 is her with Conrad. And then at the end, she's like, I can't swear, can I? But
no, you can. We bleep it. It's fine.
6. And then she goes back to Jeremiah, or what if Conrad dies?
She commits adultery? So she marries Jeremiah and then cheats on him. So now it's adultery.
This is like as if I phrased the question as like, marry, kill.
Molly's like, okay, we've taken it in another direction. We're like, what if? Okay, listen, she becomes a vampire. Or what if she commits adultery with Conrad? It's like,
What if
wow.
Conrad dies?
Then she'd have to pick Jeremiah.
Yeah,
I mean,
see, again, that's messed up. We better not take her.
And then everyone's going to be upset that she's only with Jeremiah because Conrad straight up died. And if anything, that's perfectly in line with how badly these shows end. Because it's like, it ends in a good way when you think about it because she's with the right option, but with an horrible way. Like, so it could happen. It could happen.
all that I'm going to say is that I cannot wait to see both of your reactions after episodes 1 and 2.
I'm going to crash out.
And as we go on
So
this
that means
journey.
she gets married in the beginning, is what you're saying.
I would
No.
have assumed so anyway.
Okay.
So, this isn't a spoiler. I'm just saying that when season 2 started, we picked up from a very different place than where we left off season 1.
It was horrible. It was a nightmare
It was
watching
a
it back
big
to back.
shift. Season 1 ends and Belly and Conrad are kissing to this love on the beach, and it's a magical moment. And then season 2 begins, and she's like,
we're going to get cured and everything.
yeah. And then season 2 opens, and it's like, Susanna died. And it's like, big vibe change.
Literally.
And all I'm going to say is that if it follows the book, you get a lot of information in the beginning of the book about where we are.
No,
So
I
she's
can't.
married to Jeremiah and life is dull. And then he dies.
No.
I don't think anyone else is dying in the books, but
And then she gets with Cam Cameron at the end. You know, that'd be the
my
best way
gosh.
to go about it.
who?
It just comes all back around to Cam Cameron.
Who's Cam Cameron?
Wait, what do you mean who's Cam Cameron? He's the one who was always the right option. Well, actually, she's a bit of a red flag for him. Like, he deserved better. But he's the one who, at the beginning of season 1, she meets at that beach party, and then she goes on that what's it called? Those car film thingies, outdoor
A drive-in movie theater.
drive-in movie theater. Yeah.
Oh.
And then they nearly kiss, and then they pull up, and they were like, and then in season 2, he's just living his best life, and I'm like, big up, my guy's living his best life, and he's doing his thing.
Yeah,
He
they just
deserved
invite
that.
him back into the friend group for no reason.
I was like,
They're
I
like, you want
love
to come
this.
hang out with us? Like, you and Belly aren't together anymore, but like, you can come play
'cause he was
games
that
with us on the
chill, like,
boardwalk. Yeah.
Arguably the best written character in the whole series.
One vote for Cam Cameron. All right. Yeah, I'm looking at his, I'm like, I vaguely remember him. Also, the other thing that's annoying about love triangles is, in what world does a girl have this many options that are this great? I mean, I know Conrad's problematic, but still. You got Jeremiah after you got Conrad, you got Cam Cameron, like, they're all attractive, they're all like, and you're just like, I don't know. Life's so hard. Who am I going to end up with? You know,
I mean,
same
you're
thing with
oversimplifying it because
Bella.
Conrad wasn't into her for most of the
Yeah,
time.
but
She
he
was
is
into
now.
him and
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
Whatever.
This is
He
crazy.
is now. So it's like same thing. Also, isn't it weird that Twilight, the character's name is Bella, and we have Belly? Is Jenny? She's a Twihard. Call it. I mean,
Probably.
period. Jacob, Jeremiah, Edward, and Conrad. Come on, those are so similar. Jacob, Jeremiah, Edward, Conrad.
You know
Anyway.
what? I'm kind of hearing it.
She just took away the vampire and wolf aspect.
And added cancer and just like a bunch
Modern
of the
day.
beach and
Modern day.
All right, so like I said, in seasons 1 and 2, we not only had premieres of Taylor songs that we hadn't heard before, not like brand new songs, but the Taylor's versions of certain songs. And the trailer for season 3, we already got Red and Daylight in the trailer.
Insane mashup, by the way. I hope we get
Very well
like,
done.
I know we're not going to, but imagine we got like that mashup cut like on Apple Music or something.
Please. Yes.
Crazy.
So good. Daylight is used for the Jeremiah portion. Red is used for the Conrad portion.
Red is the better song.
Between Daylight and Red,
Yeah, I feel like Red is just goated.
Well, red's spicier when you're talking about, driving a Maserati, Like, come on, Conrad.
it's literally the difference between the two relationships, right? It's like Red is
Yeah.
kind of toxic, and Daylight is just like, it just is ethereal. It's easy. It's Daylight. I only see Daylight now.
Like daylight.
I feel bad for liking Red more now, though. 'cause
Driving a
I'm Team
Maserati
Jeremiah.
down a dead end street. Yeah, it's very.
It's okay. You don't have
very
to align.
polarizing.
You don't have to align your song preferences with your team. It's okay. But going into season 3, are there any Taylor songs that you think could be used? And this is just a big, wide open question for you guys because you have no idea what's supposed to happen.
Not based on the actual story, but I feel like since we only recently got the Taylor brought back her albums and stuff really recently, I'd like to hope that 6 months ago when they were making season 3, they'd pre-planned it and she'd already let them use one of her Taylor's version songs, because she said that she'd had that ready anyway, and she's really happy with that as well. I could see her have given that to tease it like a year ago or something.
Oh my
And
gosh,
we might still
Mary's
get
song
it.
would be perfect.
In it, and we haven't really got
Our
much of
mamas
debut
smiled and rolled their eyes and said, "Oh my, you're so right." Mary's song, Taylor's
Oh my
version,
God.
lock
Yes.
it.
So I thought the same thing, but I couldn't pick a song on debut, and so I gave up that idea. But no, I totally agree. Because I didn't really know Mary's song, so I was like looking at the track list, and I was like, I can't pick one. But I wondered the same thing: like, are we gonna get a debut Taylor's version?
Yeah, I feel like we definitely ain't getting a Reputation Taylor's version.
What did she mash up Mary's song with?
Ooh.
It was
Molly, you know this.
Mary's song was mashed up with So High School and Everything Has Changed. That was the iconic one because in Mary's song is when she says, I'll be 87, you'll be 89. I'll still look at you like the stars that shine.
Right.
I could see it. So
What if that
high
was
school could be
foreshadowing?
in it as well. Because
That
they're
was
all
on my
very
list
young.
too. Because everyone keeps saying we're going back to high school. The vibes of Taylor lately have been high school. The new merch is matching TSITP. And I was like, so high
Yes.
school.
And they're all going
vibes.
into college and stuff now. So in their timeline, they'll be reminiscing over high school. So
Jeremiah
she
makes
might
her feel
fall
so
back
high
in
school.
love with Conrad because of when she was in high school or whatever. Like, I don't know.
I feel like, so high school would be Jeremiah.
Well, she was dating Conrad while she was still in high school because he
Yes.
took her to
Yeah,
prom
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in her
he makes her
perspective,
feel
it's
so high
whoever
school.
she was.
too, by the way. What else do you have on your list, Ryan?
So I also have which I feel like any Tortured Poet songs would be iconic because I felt like that's like too new age, but it makes sense because it's the final season. We've gotten it in the last year, whatever. We didn't have it last season.
And she will want to get a lot more of those out into like general audience and stuff as well, I feel like. So
Right. I know. Like not enough songs have been used in the real world off that album.
and I think
So
only Guilty as Sin has been used, hasn't it?
I know. Yeah.
You.
So I thought obviously for Conrad, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. I'm like, come on.
That's really good.
Iconic. Like, and I love that song, as you know, some of our listeners might know. It was my most streamed song last year. So I feel like it's very Conrad coded. I'd be here for it. I also didn't know how to encapsulate the songs for The Summer I Turned Pretty because it's so whimsical and, you know, summery and light. And I feel like they've used so many of those songs. I'm like, what's left? And so I feel like mine are a little too like edgy. But the So High School, I think, is that was the other TTPD. I think that really
have we
could be
had
used.
Style?
No.
I feel like Style or Is It Over Now could make an appearance because
Ooh.
they're both about
Is it
toxic
over
relationships
now?
and going back to them.
Ooh, that would be good. Now that we don't
That'd
talk,
be
now I'm just rattling off. Now that we don't talk, my mom says she talks about her mom, like, you know, my mom says, get it off my chest. Like, she misses her
1989 is starting
mom,
to sound
you
hella
know?
toxic, I can't lie.
That's why I love the
Got a
Bell
lot of
track
songs
so
about
much.
going back to toxic people.
I think if we're talking about the fact that she could potentially drop in a debut Taylor's version song, it is technically still on the table that there could be a rep Taylor's version song because, again, Delicate was in The Summer I Turned Pretty almost 2 whole years ago now.
But she said she recorded a quarter, which should be about 4 songs, and we've heard 2 of them, which is Look What You Made Me Do and Delicate. Either it's Look What You Made Me Do again, or what other 2 songs would she have recorded?
Well, we did the math of 3.75. So yeah, at least one more song.
So we have 1.5 songs we can choose from.
Yeah, but I'm like, it would usually be ready for it. I don't think she would go rogue and do like a King of My Heart. But I mean,
But King of My Heart would be perfect.
I mean, King of My Heart,
Exactly.
I think we
Ready
would
for
all-
It fits.
No, well, we would die like to actually know that King of My Heart, Taylor's version exists, especially for this
Yes.
show. It's just like the combo would be so much. You'd be like, oh my God. So yeah, I'll manifest that. I mean, it's on my list, you know, even though it's
A little
completely-
opening montage of Belly and Jeremiah to King of My Heart, Taylor's version.
Be a vibe.
Here's the thing, to Ammir's point, if they started making the show, well, they probably filmed the show over a year ago at this point, but editing, whatever, who knows how long it's been done. So I don't think there's a scenario where they're putting in original versions of Taylor's music now that she owns them again, because I don't think that they would have known that in time.
Mhm.
So I think if we're talking about new songs, it would either have to be a Taylor's version of a song we haven't heard yet, or would she ever be diabolical enough to drop a TS12 track?
Oh,
No.
I don't know. I don't know because the release date will
that
have been
would
planned.
be diabolical.
They would have had like an estimate release date they wanted to have released it. But a year ago, she might have had a plan to release 2 Vault albums this year and then release TS12 in a year or 2's time rather than it being the current theory that she's going to release in a few months. I don't think she would have planned it to leak a completely new song a year or 2 in advance.
However, this Love Taylor's version premiered in The Summer I Turned Pretty trailer in May of 2022, and she didn't announce 1989 Taylor's version until August 2023.
But we already knew that it was coming and we'd already heard the song before. Like it's like if back then she had teased now that we don't talk. Like
Right.
that would have been completely crazy. Like I want to throw out a wild theory. These are both extra wild because they've already been used before in other media forms and are made for other media forms. But either of them, one of them, I feel like would work, which would be Crazier TV or I Don't Want to Live Forever TV.
Yes, now we're
Ooh.
talking. You make
don't wanna
me
live forever.
Because
crazy.
imagine, you lift my feet off the ground and spin me around. You made me crazier.
And how iconic for a song that was made for a different movie to be used again as a Taylor's version in a TV show. It's not on any albums, technically. And I Don't Want to
It
Live
only
Forever, Taylor's
lives
version,
on
same
TV.
thing. It was made for 50 Shades. It wasn't on an
Yeah.
album.
Yes.
And they were both technically for that media. And I feel like in the whole like business side of things and like the cinema world and whatever, if they're made for a certain album, they tend to be owned by that company or whatever. But we've had confirmation that both of these, well, we've not had full confirmation. We basically have that these are both songs that Taylor actually owns. Like she I think is labeled as the owner or something on I Don't Want to Live Forever. And same with Crazy. Like she sung that multiple times on the Eras tour and stuff as well. Like she was teasing that was a vault track. So if that was the case, then she is leading up to her actually owning them and should be allowed to use them again.
I'm here for this.
I don't have thoughts about TS12, but it did weirdly make me think about if we ever, which we probably won't, the elusive song Need, you know?
Oh,
the lover.
yes.
Like how iconic and perfect.
Yes.
It's a need.
I'm so sold.
good.
I
I'm here
love that
for
song
it. It's
so
a
much.
want, it's a need. Her and Conrad. Sorry, that's a Conrad song. She ain't feeling that intense about Jeremiah. She's like, yo, I'm being toxic because it's a need. It's a need. Oh, and that it's like a light. It's very, it's lover. It's a lover vault, Will we ever get that? God. Why?
I'm praying we do.
It went so far as that one dude he covered it, and then it's like so it was there on the internet, and then it was taken down by them, like UMG. It's like so then release it.
Didn't some random person cover it?
Yeah, and it's like give us the real thing then. Why did you bury this song? The song is fire.
My theory, I have a theory about why it's not come out. And this was before we got the announcement that she was going to keep all her albums and stuff. But my theory for the past 2 years has been that she's going to, after she releases all the Taylor's versions, she's saving certain songs, like the bigger songs that she knows people are really wanting. Like there was a lot on debut and stuff that we haven't got, like Drama Queen, Let's Go Battle. And I think she's saving all of those for just one whole album that's like 20 songs long called Taylor's version. And it's like the biggest vaults, or it's called The Vault or something. But like it's all of the vault tracks that don't seemingly maybe even have a place on certain albums, and she just wants to put them together. And it's a bit of like a 3 a.m. edition of Midnights where she was like, these don't really fit on the album, but at the same time I want all these out at the same time kind of thing.
Yeah,
she did say in the letter unreleased songs. What did that mean?
It could happen. It needs to come out there though. She knows that everyone is obsessed with that song because
it's so good.
It was at the same time that she dropped Hits Different, wasn't it? Was it Hits Different?
Hits Different is
Was
Midnights. Need is Lover.
Yeah, no, but what song got leaked?
Thank you for. I always think it's Lover.
See the boys that.
The girls you loved before.
All the girls you loved before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mentally,
she dropped
Hits Different.
All the girls you
Lover.
loved before, and If We Were a Movie. Those dropped at the same time, right before the Eras tour kicked off.
Wait, wasn't both Hunger Games songs released at the same time as well? Eyes Open.
It's Safe and Sound and Eyes Open. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The Taylor's versions of all of those.
Yes.
And then the original version of All the Girls You Loved Before, because she had never released it before. Yep.
And she only dropped that because it got leaked and everybody was going crazy about it. But Need got leaked at the same time.
Yeah,
and that's it in the vault. So she knew Need got leaked because she knew the All the Girls I Loved Before. You Loved Before got leaked. It's sus. It's
interesting.
Very sus. Yeah.
It's there.
Well,
it lives in my head rent free. So
it's so
arguably
good.
Need is better than To All the Girls You Loved Before, in my opinion. I think the production was a lot more
I think so,
experimental, and I was a really big fan of the
vocals are better.
Like clean.
I like these predictions. I'm gonna give you my predictions, and let's just, no, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to give you my predictions. All Too Well, 10-minute version. Taylor's version from the vault, obviously. That's,
Why did you do that? I'm like, what?
Love Story, Taylor's version. And I'm going to say timeless Taylor's version from the vault.
For the wedding.
Maybe.
I'm surprised we haven't had All Too Well yet. I feel like when people think classic Taylor songs now, they go to All Too Well. It used to be Love Story, in my opinion, and I think it's transitioned now to All Too Well, and that's the one that people think of, especially Swifties, because they see that as the best lyrically. So, like, I'm surprised it just hasn't been used at all. Like,
I don't want Conrad to make her feel like a crumpled up piece of paper. Like, what? Come on.
He's done
Ryan
it
needs
for
to
2 seasons,
rewatch
though.
season 2 because she doesn't remember that Belly's with Jeremiah right now.
No, I
Not
know.
with Conrad.
I know, but like he's not gonna break up with her. I'm just like thinking about the whole season. I'm
He
like,
left her
Jeremiah's
at
not
her
gonna make her
prom.
feel like a crumpled up piece of paper. Come on.
A
He's done
lot
it
of
before.
season 2 was
Come on.
told in flashbacks. That's all I'm going to say.
Flashback when you
Okay,
left me,
that'd
your
be-
buzz cut and my hair bleached. Even though
Even in my
My
worst
worst
times,
nights.
you see the best in me.
That would be a plot twist if he broke up with her. That'd be freaking wild.
I'm putting a love story on this list because same with Ammir and Mary's song. How can I not put love story on there when the first words are, we were both young when I first saw you? That applies to either brother. Okay. That's,
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
how love story
I
hasn't been
definitely-
used yet. So those are my predictions. We will see how we do. Literally in just the first episodes of season 1 and 2, I think both of them had 2 Taylor songs in just the opening episode. So I cannot wait to see what happens when we get episodes 1 and 2 on
predictions,
the
how
first
many
night.
Or songs do you think will be in it?
In the first episode
In the whole
or
season?
total?
Total.
8.
8.
Okay.
You said 5. We counted earlier the ones from season 1 and 2. It was like 5 and
Season 2 had 9, and that doesn't include the trailer, which had 2 more.
I feel like I definitely forgot how many Taylor songs. I'm like, when did season 2 come out? Why does it feel like 20
Last
years ago?
year.
Okay, well, that kind of tracks. You know, I was like busy last year. You know, last year like, was kind of a blip.
It was a
but-
long year. Eras till summer was
So-
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
What about you,
9
Ryan?
songs. I mean, I was gonna say lowball and say 5, but I know this is like when Molly asked how many shows is Travis gonna go to, and I think I said like 3 or something, and she said like 15, and it was like one off.
That was
and I
going into
like,
2024.
what?
I'm like, you think
Yeah,
he's
and
gonna
I
go to
was like,
one weekend?
what?
Okay, I stand corrected. Season 2 came out in 2023, so it's actually been 2 years. There you
Okay.
go.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit
Yeah.
better.
The Eras tour was also going on that summer.
Yeah, a lot was happening. Yeah, well, I guess 5 is too low. 7. I'm gonna say 7.
I'm going to say 9 just to be the highest because I feel like we're going to get a lot of. I don't know. I really want to say 10 because they've already used 2 in one trailer. And I feel like they're really, one, capitalizing on the fact that it's the last season, and 2, they're very much capitalizing on the fact that it's very Taylor coded the entire show, especially with her recent drop. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 10. I'm gonna say 10.
Even the acronym TSITP.
Yeah.
Well, I cannot wait to see your reactions after the first 2 episodes drop next week. We will be on Ammir's channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. British summer time on Thursday. Did I say it right?
Yes. No. It's just
Okay.
late.
I know, I'm so sorry.
5, 8, and 1 a.m.
Ammir's a really good sport with our schedules.
Vibes, though.
We literally have someone in each of those time zones. So we cannot wait to react after those first 2 episodes with you guys. Ryan and Ammir, I think, are going to have their brains blown next week. I can't wait to see it. And come hang out with us on Ammir's channel to discuss it all. We're calling it So Much for Summer Love.
Yeah, and thank you guys who come over. I appreciate all the love as well. And I love you guys so much, and I love your audience as well because they're the nicest people ever.
Aw, same. This is a fun summer endeavor.
We were waiting for something good enough to have a reunion. We were thinking it was going to be Rep TV. I'm more happy that it's a Come Out Temporary, I guess. At least we've
We had
got,
to get creative, you know?
we are opened our eyes a little more once that got shut down.
We're healed, you know? This is
Yes.
what clowns do now. We clown about The summer I turned pretty. Look how far we've come.
clowning
Look at
about
us.
clowning about what will happen in a show that already has the book written about what will happen. In a
Right.
show.
But luckily it has two people who didn't read the book, so we can feel like we're clowning and
And
like
we're
it's actually gonna
professional clowns. There's
manifest.
the perfect people
you
to
know?
not have seen it.
Yeah, we're still clowning because it will or will not manifest. We don't know. Show up at the episode with our clown noses just to really bring it back and be like, all right, guys.
I'm like, I haven't, but I know.
Oh my God.
You have that so quick.
I
Mine
brought
is
it out
on the
earlier
table
when
right
we
now
were
in a glass box.
before we started recording, and Ammir was talking about how he had his nose on like the whole time the last time we recorded.
Oh, don't
I saw my
remind
clown
me.
wig earlier and I felt kind of sad. It was just like in a drawer under my bed. It's like the old cardigan under the bed, except it's my clown wig. Well, I have two of them. It's
You
so
need to put
sad.
it in like a little glass box as well. Mine is. Look at this little
A
cutie.
shadow box, a clown shadow box. No, I'm keeping it because I can't retire forever, you know? That's like too. No, stop it.
This is our little baby who went a whole year with us clowning for Rep TV,
Oh my God.
and it's now in a box because it's been retired.
That's so sad. You should sign it and sell it. I would
Gold cage hostage to my
Imagine.
feelings.
sign
Oh my
it
gosh.
and be like, rep clown. Dude, if anybody wants to buy
The
Ammir's
most
clown
famous
nose,
Rep clown nose.
he will sign it. And you could write all the clown dates on it. It would just
Oh my
fill
God,
the whole
yeah.
cube. That's iconic.
Okay, I'll have a think.
Thank you so much for joining us, Ammir. We can't wait to talk to you again next week.
It's all good. Thank you for having me. I can't wait to be back.
Bye.
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 Bye. I want to join in. Bye.
Bye. Where are the reacts?
Sometimes
there
our
they are.
emojis work.
Oh, I can't
There we
do that
go.
on mine because you're my PC. Oh, hold up.
Yay!
Hey! This is even better. He's got IRL confetti. Come on. Let's go.